Alright, so we've been discussing linear inequalities, and so today we are going to talk about graphing them and what a solution looks like in a graph. So a linear inequality is similar to a linear equation, but it uses an inequality symbol. Okay, so it's going to be very similar to the equations. The solution to a linear inequality is going to be all of the ordered pairs that make the inequality true. So we've been talking about them in terms of one variable, and then there's the number line where we graph those solutions. Okay, but in this situation, we're going to have the two variables. And so it's actually going to create a line on a coordinate plane. So we're going to have the x and the y. So here are some examples. Here are some ordered pairs that we've been given, and the question is whether or not these ordered pairs are solutions. So the way that we can do that is by plugging these two values in for x and y and finding out if they make the solution true. So this would be our x and this would be our y. So I'm going to do 2, and in place of the x, I'm going to put in the 2 minus 3, and in place of the y, I'm going to put in the 5 is less than 15, and I'm just going to do the calculations on this. So 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 5 is 15, 4 minus 15 is negative 11, and that is less than 15. That's true. So yes, this 2, 5 is part of the solution for this inequality. If you look at negative 1, negative 7, we can plug that one in. So again, plugging in negative 1 for x, plugging in negative 7 for y. Okay, and when we do 2 times negative 1, we get negative 2. When we get negative 3 times negative 7, we get plus 21. And we get a 19. And 19 is not less than 15, so no, this is not a solution or a problem that will fall into that solution set. Okay, then we look at 3, negative 4, same process. We plug in 3, we plug in negative 4, and we check 6 plus 12, and that's going to give us 18. 18 is not less than 15, so no, again, this is not a solution that works. All right, and then we'll try 0, 0. So 0, plug in the 0. So 0 minus 0, and 0 is less than 15. So yes, this solution works. So these two fall into the solution. These two do not. So remember that an inequality has more than one solution. An equation generally only has the one solution. All right, so looking down here, graphing them is actually the way to show all of the ordered pairs that are solutions. And so in order to graph them, we have to put the inequality in slope-intercept form. Remember that is y equals mx plus b. You're going to be sure to flip the inequality symbol if you multiply or divide by a negative number. This is important. So highlight it, underline it, put a star by it, whatever you need to do. Make sure you remember that. It still falls even though we're dealing with the two variables now. Okay, then you're going to graph the line. You're going to use a solid line if it's less than or greater than or equal, less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. You're going to use a dotted line if it's less than or greater than, no equal to. Okay, same as when we used open circle versus closed circle. Okay, and then step 3, you're going to shade above the line if it's greater than or equal to. Then you're going to shade below the line for less than or equal to. Okay, so first step, we're going to look at that same example problem. We're going to get this into slope-intercept form. So step 1. So we're going to subtract the 2x. We still have a negative 3y. We have a negative 2x plus 15. Okay, all I did was move this 2x over. Then I'm going to divide by negative 3. Okay, because I'm dividing, I have to flip my sign. All right. Negative 2 divided by negative 3, we can just leave as a 2/3. 15 divided by negative 3 is going to be a negative 5. Okay, so this is our inequality that we're going to use to graph this. So remember, this is a greater than symbol, so it's going to fall as a dotted because there's no equal to, and it's also going to be above the line because it's greater than. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like. So we go to graph this. Remember that -5 is our y-intercept, so we're going to go down to -5 and put our point. 2/3 is our slope, so we're going to go rise 2, run 3, rise 2, run 3. Okay, we are using a dotted line, so I'm going to connect these with a dashed line here, still putting the arrows on either end, and then it tells us to graph up or shade above. Okay, so I'm going to shade in all of this area. Okay, and remember that this graph keeps going forever, so all of this is actually still part of it. Even though the graph has stopped, okay, all of this is part of the solution on forever up here and over here. The only part that's not is going to be below this, and what is on the line is not part of the solution, okay, because it's a dotted line, so it's just everything above this line. Any point that falls in this area will be a solution that is that works, okay. All right, I'm going to do one more with you, and then we will let you finish the practice problems. So let's do number 2 here on the back, okay? All right, so this is already in slope-intercept form for us, so all we have to do is graph it. So here we have a less than or equal to symbol. So less than means that we're going to be going below. The equal to means it's going to be a solid line, okay? So -1 is our slope intercept, or is our intercept. So right here we put our -1, and then it is a -2 slope. So we're going to be going down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, and continuing that pattern. We can also go up 2 and to the left 1. Okay, and so our line is going to look like this, and it is a solid line this time. Okay, and we are going to shade everything below the line. And that's where our solutions are going to lie on these. Okay? All right. So you have 7 more problems here on the back. I want you to go ahead and complete those for practice problems. If you need additional help, let me know. I'll be happy to help you. Don't forget to put it in slope-intercept form first, and then check your notes and make sure you're using those, okay? This right here is key. You need to make sure that you're using these set of notes every chance that you get, okay? If you have questions, let me know. If you need additional practice, let me know.